Hey guys, so if you haven't met me already, my name's Nicole. I have just graduated and I thought this could be a lovely video for anyone who maybe wants to start their own fashion brand or they want to design clothes and develop a portfolio. Maybe there's other fashion graduates out there. So these are just the things that I use. I don't think everyone uses these. Everyone has their own software, but these are the ones that I am sufficient in and I know how to work them really well. So I've decided to split this video up into sections. So the initial inspiration concept, how you develop all of those with apps and tools, until pretty much the end when you would actually go make that clothing yourself, or you can go to find a manufacturer that can make those clothes for you. So let's start with the first section. So the first section I have is my trend forecasting and inspiration searching. So these two softwares are free and the first software is not. With trend inspiration, obviously it's very important to go out and search what type of garments you want to produce, what type of style, and all of these things. So the first step that I always do, I use these three platforms always: WGSN, Pinterest, and social media. So Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Those are the three platforms that I use for my first inspiration search. WGSN is not free, you do have to pay for it. And it allows you to have access to all the trend reports that are currently going on in 2024, 25, and 26 for spring, summer, winter, autumn. Okay, and it's a really great site. It has a lot of different sections within it, so it can be trend reports regarding, children's wear, trend reports regarding certain accessories, like little details like hardware or certain colors of clothing. And there's a huge range of trend reports that are out there, and a lot of big retailers use WGSN to forecast for their new seasons. So I always use WGSN as sort of an inspiration, So WGSN is a great way to gain knowledge on any future trends that are coming in. In regards to Pinterest and Instagram and TikTok, those are essentially the pages where I'm looking at, okay, what's currently happening now, or if there is something that's trendy, then I can go directly to it and see what it's about. So Pinterest, I like to obtain more of the theme of that garment. So Pinterest, I like to gain inspiration and get pictures that can be put on my mood board to build up this capsule that I want to make. And Instagram is more so looking at what's currently trending, what are, the influencers are wearing, what are these brands producing online. So Pinterest is more so gaining pictures that will be placed on my mood board, but Instagram is more so looking at, okay, what's currently in the market, what are these retailers bringing in. So these three go really well together. So in general, I use WGSN to see, what are the trends that are coming out, in the future. Pinterest I use more for my inspiration for my mood board. And then Instagram is just looking at, okay, what are current retailers pushing out. So that's sort of the trend forecasting and inspiration part. So from doing all of that and gaining pictures and maybe videos and inspiration, we then need to translate that on our inspiration board. And if anyone hasn't heard about it already, then you're living under a rock, but it's Canva. Canva is free. I do not have the pro version. I do not need the pro version because I think it's a waste of money. But what can you do really? Nothing. So with Canva, it's really nice because they have a lot of different sectors within Canva. So if you want something that's more for your marketing point of view, they have different templates for Instagram, for, TikTok. If you need anything, you go to Canva because Canva is the number one place I go to do anything in terms of, graphical design. And typically with Canva, I like to use Canva to do my mood boards. I've done most of my mood boards and whatever I've done in varsity was through Canva because it's a really easy, quick, very understandable interface. So Canva, I use it as a basis if I want to do any marketing. All my YouTube stuff I do in Canva. All of my things for Instagram I do in Canva. If I want to post anything, it's in Canva. So Canva is a great way to do all your boards, inspiration, your mood board, your fabric board, your color stories, anything, choose Canva because it's easy, it's free, and it's really understandable. Subsection within this is looking at where you're able to obtain any color swatches or any, fabric swatches. So in terms of this sector is that if I need to find a certain swatch of something, I want to create a dress that's made out of satin that's bright pink. And we now need to do a fabric story for that, or we need to do a mood board with it, or the place that I go to find these fabric swatches can either be with WGSN, or it can be through the internet or through Pinterest. So it's really about looking around and seeing what's available. And I mean, like, most of the time I am looking on the internet, but obviously if you're actually taking this seriously, you're gonna have to go to suppliers and look at different fabric swatches to be able to produce that. But just for me, I'm doing this at home, so most of the time I do just look on the internet, grab that, and then use it as a reference. So in terms of color swatches are obviously very important if you're going to a manufacturer to produce a garment, because if you give them, depending on what system they may use Pantone or a different type of color system, it's important to get that number for that color so that you're producing your garments in the right color. The free site that I use is called Coloro, and it's really great. It's really easy to use. You can generate a random color palette, or you can generate a specific one. And the nice thing about it is that it gives you options for complementary colors. So if you have a base color, you can do complementary colors. If you have 3 colors, you can look at maybe colors that fit between these 2 swatches and then the other 2 swatches. It's a really awesome app. Get those color swatches and then being able to directly put it into Canva. So it's not that difficult to do. So the next thing is our actual design software. So it's very important to use design software to actually create your designs, because it's all good and great to get inspiration. You're going to make this top, you've got the colors, you've got the theme, you've got the fabric swatch, but in order to take that to your manufacturer, you need to do some technical designs. I'm very sorry to say this, but the main software I do use is Adobe. For my fashion design software, the 2 apps that I use is Illustrator and Photoshop. Illustrator is mainly for me to do all my technical drawings. It is difficult to understand at first how to do technical drawings on Adobe. It takes a lot of practice and time and energy and effort, and sometimes I want to throw my computer through the window, but it's worth it because you get really clean technical designs from it. I would suggest, if you are able to get Illustrator. Photoshop I don't often use in terms of design, but I use it for my mood board. So if I want to remove backgrounds of anything, or if I want to sort of fix up how that fabric's looking, if I want to remove any blemishes or anything that's causing a little bit of ruckus that's making it look ugly, I use Photoshop. So typically removing backgrounds or fixing the edges, just something to make it a lot more clean and sleek. With more design apps, these 2 are in terms of and in conjunction with mood boards and technical drawings. So if I want to do any fashion sketches or fashion illustrations, I use these 2 platforms. First one is Procreate. So Procreate is a paid app. I have it on my iPad, and I used to use Procreate quite a lot in varsity, but then I moved over to an app called Fashion Draw. It is the best app at this moment to do fashion illustrations. You can't tell me otherwise. It is so nice. And the nice thing about Fashion Draw is that you can actually do technical drawings on it. A one-time purchase. It is a lot cheaper than Adobe, and I really enjoy it because on Fashion Draw they give you base models, provide different brush points, but the big difference with Fashion Draw is that they have brush, like colors. Obviously you have brush colors, but they also have fabric swatches there. So they have different leathers, they have different cottons, they have twill weaves, they have lace, they have all of these different fabrics that you can use as a brush pen to fill in your illustration, which is really good to do fashion illustration with and to draw out your designs. Another great thing about Fashion Draw is that it provides different, technical drawing pens. There are seams. They also provide a lot of technical drawings on there already. There's some jackets and bags and shoes and clothes. It's a really great way if you are not wanting to pay for a big design software like the Adobe apps. I use this app a lot. I started using it in my 4th year, and that's the best decision I've ever made. And now we're moving on to actual sewing and pattern making apps, systems, software, and all of that. So in terms of pattern making, we have one site called Tailor Nova. And with Tailor Nova, there are some things on that website that are free, others you will pay for, and they might ask you to pay a weekly fee. The nice thing about Tailor Nova is that they provide a lot of different pattern pieces that you can customize. Say if you want to make a skirt, you can add a zip into the pattern piece and it creates the pattern piece for you. Easy. You provide them with your own body measurements, and it's literally a design software that gives it to you like that. If you are not wanting to either create your own pattern piece or that you can't find anything online that resembles something like it, Tailor Nova is a really great place to go out and choose your design. They provide a lot of different offerings. They have different dresses. You can choose a certain neckline you want and it changes the pattern piece according to it. The different sleeves, hems, and all of these cool different things. So it's a great app to go and experiment, because sometimes what I like to do is that I like to go to Tailor Nova, and if I want a certain type of sleeve, I just go and look at the pattern piece and then I go do it myself. And then we have any free websites. And I know people are going to say, tell me all the free websites. And these are the 3 websites I typically use. There's a lot of YouTube content already online about pattern making. It's typically all about looking at what creators are within the industry at the moment, because sometimes when you follow them, they have a special where you can get a pattern for free. But if anyone's wondering for any free websites, I mostly browse on Mood Society. Mood Society has got some really good patterns. They're really they're kicking the ball. Another one is your Peppermint magazine. They've also got some really cool patterns, but they're more for the older generation that I find. What I do like to do is that I like to download all of these pattern pieces and I have it on my laptop. So when I am making my own patterns, I have a point of reference. So you can see I'm always have a point of reference. Overall, guys, that's all of the things that I use. And it might seem like very little, but it takes a lot of time. But overall, all of these are great starting points if you want to either, get into the industry and you want to create your own portfolio. They're really easy to use, but it's also a nice point of reference for people that want to take up the hobby if they actually, want to do fashion illustration or they want to do technical drawings. These are just all the apps and software that I use. Hope this reaches people that are interested in the sector, and I hope this helps people that have been looking for apps and software but they don't know where to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like me, you can subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. That's if you want to, but obviously you don't have to. But other than that, you guys can comment maybe any software or apps that you use that I could maybe, jump on the bandwagon and investigate. But I hope you guys have a lovely afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I hope you enjoyed this very much. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.